Hello, guys, and welcome to Football Fandom UK. How you guys doing? Today we have another fan on the channel, Jamie, who is a Coventry fan. As I keep telling you guys, that is the ambition of Football Fandom UK. There is plenty of other YouTube channels, obviously, out there, but not all of them are getting you guys involved. And the one thing that I set Fandom up for is to get you guys involved, to give you guys the opportunity to have your say about UK football and your club. Because obviously, as I say, there is a lot of fan channels out there on YouTube, but not all of them are giving the fans the opportunity to have a fair say about their club. So today we have a special guest, Jamie, who is a Coventry fan. He also is about to launch his own YouTube channel at some point. Obviously, he's working on that due to his work commitments. It's taking him a little bit of time, but he is working on it. And his channel is going to be called Killing. He's also got an Instagram account, which is called League One Hub. So if you guys are interested in keeping track of what's going on in League One, obviously you can track that through Jamie's account, and obviously on Football Fandom UK we also keep track of League One and all other leagues. But Jamie actually specialises in League One. So if you are a fan of League One or a club in League One, get yourselves onto Instagram, check out his account. And obviously, you guys can also check out his YouTube channel once he actually gets it up and running properly. How are you doing, Jamie?
I'm doing good, thanks. How are you doing today?
I'm not so bad, mate. Really happy to get you on. Obviously, I want to get a range of fans on to give, obviously, all fans the opportunity to have their say about their clubs. Quite new still to doing this video link thing, so it's obviously a bit trial and error as I go. But yeah, definitely happy to get you on because Coventry is a
Yeah.
club I do know, but I am not familiar with loads with you guys and your history. So if you could give us a quick overrun of maybe the last few seasons, just a quick, review, if you like, just so we can all get an idea of what's been going on with Coventry.
Okay, I'll give the rundown on our whole history. It'll be short, but I'll give the rundown. Okay, we were founded in 1883. We've only won one major trophy, which is the FA Cup, in 1987, where we beat Tottenham Hotspur. Since then, we had like a 30 stint period in the top flight, 30-year period. And we got relegated in the Premier League in 2001, and we've just been on the decline ever since. We got relegated from the Championship in 2011, I think. And then we've haven't had a promotion in 30 years until a couple of seasons ago when we got promoted back to League One via the playoffs of League Two.
So you say you're actually in the Premier League in 2001? Did you say that?
Yep, we got relegated that season with Man City, which is a fun fact.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting fact. Definitely. So in that time period of obviously say since the millennium, have you had the same owners?
No. Here's the thing: we've had different owners,
Yeah.
and we had an old stadium called Highfield Road, which many Cov fans adore and wish they never got rid of, because there was a few dodgy decisions. We planned to make a modern stadium. I don't know if you heard of it, the Rico Arena, which we used to play in. Now we play in Birmingham, obviously, which is a bit
Right.
annoying. But they delayed the Rico Arena, and we had to rent back Highfield Road, our old stadium, for loads of money, which cost us all our budget for the Rico Arena, and we were just in loads of debt. So we had to do a decision with the council. So the council owned the stadium, and now and then the council sold a stadium to our rugby team, and we kept on taking the rugby team to court, and they didn't like that, so they eventually just kicked us out.
So are you still playing in a lone stadium now?
No, we're playing in St Andrews in Birmingham this season.
Flipping heck. So you're not even playing in your actual city?
Nope, we're not playing our actual city. And if you noticed in the FA Cup, we played Birmingham City at their own ground twice, home leg and away leg, but we unfortunately lost on penalties in the second leg.
No way. So what's actually happening with the new stadium then? Is that
Uh,
still going
we're,
ahead?
we're trying to get back to the Rico. If I heard the Wasps are in some financial difficulties, so hopefully we can get back to the Rico and we can stay there for a while.
Well, that's. I'm nothing against rugby clubs, but if they obviously was playing hardball with Coventry Football Club, then it's no more than they deserve.
Yeah, to be fair. Uh, Wasps would have got relegated from the Premiership if it wasn't for Saracens getting automatically relegated because of some financial rules, which is a bit annoying. Um,
Right.
yeah. So hopefully we can get back to the Rico Arena as quick as possible and get out of Birmingham.
So if you get back to the Rico Arena, is these plans for this new ground that you mentioned actually still on, or is that on the back?
There's been plans for a new ground for the last 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know if it's actually going to happen because there's no space in Coventry. There's no land. We don't have no money to make a stadium. So I feel the best opportunity is to go back to the Rico Arena.
That is absolute madness. So the owners sold the ground with no land acquired for a new ground, no actual proper plan
No,
to
no,
build.
no, no. We made a new stadium, but it
Right.
was the Rico Arena was in progress when we had to play there, and because we already sold the old stadium, we had to rent it back from the people we sold it to for like triple the price.
And these people that are running our football clubs call themselves businessmen. What kind of
Yeah.
business is
And
that?
then they took us into administration, and we've got new owners now, which are not really great, but they are starting to pick up. They're called Sisu, and not many of fans are like them because they've shown real hard signs of ownership. They didn't back the managers, poor managerial decisions in the first place. We hired someone called Russell Slade. Don't know if you heard of him. He was like the worst manager of all time. He had like a 20% win rate or
Right.
for our club and got relegated. We finished second bottom from League One, and then we got relegated eventually to League Two, which we bounced back from, luckily.
Right. So I see that you're sitting at the top of League One at the minute. So are you hoping? Obviously, I know we discussed it off camera, but obviously
Yeah.
the other fans want to know your thoughts. What are you confident that you're going to get the League One, or that you're going to at least get promoted?
Okay. My heart's saying we're gonna win the league, but my brain's I don't know. We've got 10, 11 huge games now. We have to take one by one. Each game got Ipswich on Saturday away, which is a big game. One game in hand, which is massive. And I don't know is the answer, but I just really hope we get promoted because we haven't been in the championship for 8 years now.
Well, mate, I'll be honest. Obviously, my club is in League One, as you know, and
Yeah.
obviously we're at the opposite end. But obviously, with what you've just told me, and the fact that I have known of Coventry, and I didn't know loads about your club, but I would have thought with how long Coventry's been about, you guys would have won more trophies than one.
Yeah.
That comes a bit of a surprise to me. So obviously, I wish you guys the best, definitely for obviously winning the league this season, so that you can get, for a club with the history that your club has got, one trophy seems a little bit, I don't want to mean no offense,
Yeah.
but it's a
But it
little bit.
means a lot. It does. It really meant a lot to a lot of fans. Even I weren't born then in 1987, obviously, but it's what we have. It's part of our DNA now. It's what we built around the club, and we just appreciate it even more with the seasons we're having.
I can see that. So, one question I've got is Coventry one of the founding members then of the Football League?
Yes, they are.
Right. See, I knew you'd been around. Your club been around for a long time. I did know that, but obviously, me being a northern lad, I'm not as familiar with some of the history of the clubs down south. Do you know what I mean? So it's an interesting fact. So yeah, definitely wish you guys the best of luck with obviously winning the league. Um, so I see you've been having some quite interesting fixtures recently and doing quite well, ticking over, getting wins quite consistently, with the exception of a draw against Rotherham. You've
Oh,
won you've won the last few games, and I see you even won against my team, Bolton.
we're unbeaten in 12 games. We haven't been beaten in 2020 yet. We're the only team in the Football League who hasn't been beaten in 2020. We drew to Rotherham. Fair play. I would take a draw. They're second in the league. They were first at the time. We played awful in the first half, but we managed to peg them back in the second half, and we were really unlucky to not get a winner. But we're just on a really good run. Even when we're not playing well, we're winning, and that's what you want to see in a promotion side. Games against your team, Bolton, for instance, we played absolutely awful, but we managed to get the win.
Well, to be fair, mate, obviously, no disrespect to you guys getting the win. Fair play, you beat us on the day. But obviously, with Bolton, every team this season in the league pretty much has been giving us a spanking.
Your team, Drew. You played your kids when you've played us at the start of the season, but you drew 0-0 with us, which annoyed a lot of Cov fans.
Well, I can see why, but to be fair, the kids, obviously, they got a few bad results, but they actually, when I look over the season up to this point, the kids actually did better than some of these professional players that we've got now. So I'm questioning whether some of these, obviously, with the restrictions Bolton have got,
yeah,
I'm questioning whether some of these players that we've loaned and obviously brought in on a free transfer are actually there at Bolton for the right reasons, or are they're just there for a payday? Because obviously, you being a Coventry fan and your club being in League One, you've probably experienced that yourself, where you brought players in and you've got to question whether they're actually there for the right reasons.
Yeah, but the thing is, we don't pay a lot. That's the thing. That's why a lot of players leave. We pay hardly anything. I think last year our highest wage was 3,400, which isn't a lot at all. It's apparently larger this season because our players are better. I kind of think if we don't get promoted, we'll have a terrible season next.
But to be fair, mate, some of these players complain that they're on lower wages when they're in the lower leagues. But even still, that kind of money is still
still decent.
Yeah, it's still 5-6 times better than the average working person, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
I was just comparing to like Sunderland and like Ipswich and Oxford and all those. Their budgets are just crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. But mate, we know that there is such an imbalance throughout the football league, and obviously, I'm a big critic of the EFL and the FA, because I don't think the people that are running the EFL and the FA are doing anywhere near enough to bring some sort of balance and obviously proper structure to how clubs are run with it throughout all divisions. To be fair, it seems like obviously it seems like they're a lot more motivated for the cash. So if the clubs are making the cash, they're interested, and they'll but other than that, they're not bothered, and they're just prepared to let clubs keep falling into administration. I mean, well, obviously, going a little bit off your club for a second, I want to know your thoughts on what's happened in League One this season, because obviously we have seen, Bolton come close to going bankrupt and obviously going into administration. We've seen Bury actually be liquid. Well, I think they're on the precedence of being liquidated as we speak.
Yeah.
And also, is Oldham in League One? I can't remember now. I think they're in League Two, aren't they?
League Two.
Yeah, and they've just gone into administration. So what's your thoughts on that? Because for me, this just shows the incompetence of the EFL.
Yeah, there's lots of injustices in the EFL, and I feel they're just giving clubs to anyone who can buy them without checking their history. For instance, Steve Dale at Bury didn't even know there was a football club called Bury. Says it all, really. It's so hard to take for fans, and some fans, that's all they have, going to match days and watching their football team play. And sometimes, for instance, Bury, they don't even have a team to support anymore. And it kind of makes you feel sad in a way for smaller clubs, because they have to see this situation.
Yeah, and it begs the question, where's it going to lead?
Yeah.
You know,
I feel there's such a gap between the Premiership and even the Championship. There's such a big gap. If you make it to the Premiership, it's something like £300 million for being there. It's insane.
yeah, but if owners use that money wisely instead of paying crazy money for players and wages for players, you know, one season in the Premier League for most clubs could set them up for the next 10, 15 years if that money was used in a proper way.
Yeah, but they have to try and stay up. That's the thing. And they're not going to stay up with a terrible squad. So they're going to have to reinvest a lot of money. If you look at Aston Villa, they spent 120 million on their transfer window. That's an insane amount of money. And if they get relegated, that's going to really affect them in the Championship if they're having big wages of like 100 grand a week.
No, I take your point. I do take your point. But on the opposite side, I'll point out Burnley. If you look at Burnley, they got promoted the first time. They didn't go crazy on wages. They didn't go crazy buying players. They actually got relegated and then came straight back up. I think they spent a season or 2 seasons in the Championship and then got promoted again. And they have actually made money, but invested it sensibly, like, you know, not going overkill. They've done it gradually. Do you get what I mean? So that they're not like, for example, like you just said with Aston Villa going mad, spending 120 million. That is an owner that's got ambitions, clearly, in my opinion, for one thing, and that is to make the club a Premier League club. And if he fails, he'll walk away.
Yeah.
That's my own honest opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to thank Sean Dyche and the board for that. They've done an insane job at Burnley, and for even backing Sean Dyche. If you get relegated now, it's an automatic sacking, and I feel there's no trust in football anymore. You can't have a manager staying at a club after a relegation. It seems to be a trend. It seems to be like a popularity to sack managers.
No, I agree. But the point that I'm making is that Burnley have shown that you can do it. You can do it gradually. You know, if you're prepared to accept. If a club, for example, like Bolton, Coventry, Burnley, are prepared to accept one season in the Premier League and not go crazy spending money and possibly get relegated and then have another shot at it, you know, because you think about it, it makes logical sense. If you get one season in the Premier League, get relegated, the money you can earn from that one season, you could build a really, really strong Championship team that will get you back into the Premier League or should get you back into the Premier League. And then you're making a load more cash.
But if you look what Stoke done, they did the exact same thing. But when they got relegated, they invested, but they got so unlucky with injuries and transfers. They spent 2 seasons in the Championship so far, and now they've got too much wages because their aspirations didn't go to plan. And I agree with your point fully, but it's really hard to save the money when there's an opportunity of getting more money. And I feel clubs and owners are greedy in that aspect.
No, to be fair, mate, you've hit the nail right on the head there. That it comes down to the owners and how sensible and what business plan they put together, or whether they're just greedy and just want to go for it.
Yeah.
So, mate, a quick look over your upcoming fixtures for Coventry. I see you've got Ipswich coming in on Saturday. Then you've got Shrewsbury, which is at home. So you've got Ipswich away, Shrewsbury at home, Lincoln away, Wickham at home, and then Accrington Stanley away. So what's your feeling for the next 5 games?
Huge games. We have to win every single one. Ipswich is going to be such a hard game. Shrewsbury is going to be a hard game. They're down there, but they're going to put a tough fight. Lincoln are down there. They're going to put a tough fight. And Wickham are promotion chasers. They're going to put a tough fight as well. And you can't write Accrington Stanley off. They are a good side, but they're going to give us a fight because that's what teams want to do. Try their best against the top teams and try and deliver a shock.
No, I totally agree with you because they raised their game massively when they played Bolton, and they beat us in the league, and then they beat us in the EFL Trophy, and they
7-1.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that.
Sorry.
and they also drew against us in the home game at the weekend, if I remember correctly. So and that for a Bolton fan, with no disrespect for to Accrington, that's hard to take, because as I say, no disrespect to Accrington, but Bolton should not be, losing 2 games in a season to a club the size of Accrington. And that, like I said, I don't mean them no disrespect, but Bolton not so long ago were a Premier League club.
Yeah, they were playing in the Europa League final and having such big names in the teams. I forgot what his name is. Oh, JJ Okocha. He used to play for Bolton Wanderers, and it's just so light years away from where you are now.
Yeah. Well, we didn't actually play in the Europa League final, but we did play in the league. We played. We got in it 2 seasons, and we got to the. I think we got to the last 8 in both seasons, if I remember, or the last 16. I can't remember off the top of my head because it's a few years back now, and obviously distant memories after what both clubs been through in the last few years. But yeah, so obviously, you guys have got a real shot at getting promotion. Definitely think you're going to do that, and obviously you're looking quite good for actually winning the league. So overall, how would you feel? Are you feeling confident that you can get it over the line?
Yeah, I am confident, but I'm not at the same time. It's a bit like what you said earlier about the Liverpool fans. There's just something you can't get over excited because you never know. There's is it 10 games? 10 games left, 11 games, and you never know what we could lose the next 3, and we could be outside the playoffs. So let's just not hope that happens. That's if we get promoted, but get each game how it is.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so a quick look at what you're doing for yourself with your YouTube. Do you want to tell the guys what your plan is for your YouTube channel? A quick, obviously, I know you're still in the planning stage, but a quick, overview of your potential ideas and plans for doing that.
Okay, I'm planning to create a channel where I am going to each ground in the Football League and rate them based on atmosphere and how cost and value for money, and it's just a way how I can look back in the future and see where I've been, and it's just one of them. It's just for fun, really, and hopefully we can get some decent amount of followage.
Yeah, well, definitely, and if you guys are watching, you have actually set up the channel. You've just not put not put any videos on yet, have you?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you guys, if you want to check out his channel, it's Killen. That's Kiln. It's quite an easy name to remember, not too hard. And obviously, how are you doing with your Instagram account? You're concentrating on League One. So if you get promoted to the Championship, obviously the fans are going to want to know that are watching now. Are you going to keep your Instagram account as League One, or are you going to change it to the Championship, or are you going to do all EFL?
I think I might be doing all EFL. I think that'll be easier. Not easier, but it'll be more all-rounded, and it will suit more fans, and it'll probably get more attraction than just one league. And obviously, I want to have my team playing in the Instagram page I'm creating and posting.
Cool. So there you go, guys. That's a quick overview of what Jamie's doing. So go and check out his YouTube channel. Obviously, he's been honest with you guys and told you he's not had a chance to do any videos for it yet because he's got work commitments. But he has got his Instagram up and running, and I follow him on his account, and it's a great account which is called League One Hub. So go and check that out. And before you go, mate, what's your feeling overall on this obviously Corona thing that's going around at the minute, and how it might affect football? Because I know the government are talking about potentially playing behind closed doors games.
Honestly, it's nothing to worry about. It's going to sound the media over exaggerates everything. It's the flu has killed more people in the past year than the coronavirus. It will get solved. It'll be fine. There'll be people. It'll be the media that's hyping everything up, everyone getting quarantined and everything. But it's just a small amount of people. But it's just one of them. Nothing to be scared about.
That is music to my ears, because the reason I say that is you're obviously a lot younger than me. And I know exactly what you've just said about how the media hype things up, but a lot of people these days are brainwashed into believing that everything that the media come out with, and it is crazy how many people actually believe what they say. So to hear somebody your age actually saying it as it is, that that the media hype everything up, because they do it just to sell papers. They do it just to attract people to their news channels or whatever. And people don't see it. You see it, obviously. I see it, but other people don't see it. So I fully agree with you. But with regards to the virus, obviously, I'm not 100% sure how serious it's going to get. I think that if it is going to be a case of it's passed about from one person to the next, until the government actually gets a grip on how they're going to control it and get it under control, I think it might be a wise idea to play some games behind closed doors, just till the government get their act together and get a plan together to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's not I know it's not what we want to see, but obviously, the health of the population is what's most important than obviously football.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think any stadiums will close. There's only been like 3 people in the UK that's been properly diagnosed with it. It's just one of them, really. It's just a bit bullshit from the media.
No, like I said, I do agree with you, but like I say, obviously it's a public health issue, isn't it? So it's all one of them. I mean, me personally, obviously, I've got my own beliefs on this corona nonsense, but I'm not going to say it on the channel, because obviously I don't want YouTube to shut my channel down because of my personal beliefs. So we'll leave that one at that. So one last final question. What do you think of the idea? And I know it's only an idea because the football authorities don't seem to be taking it very serious. But what do you think of the idea of putting some of the better Scottish clubs into the English league in the same way that Swansea and Cardiff are in it?
Yes, but if they are going to put the Scottish clubs in, I think they should start right at the bottom, 10th tier, because I don't think it's fair if they can just walk in, because they've got to earn their prestige and go up the leagues.
No, that's fair comment. I just thought I'd ask you about it because it's one that's always been grabbed my curiosity. That why they don't at least consider it. Because one thing that gets me is the Welsh league. How there is a separate Welsh division, but yet we have Cardiff and Swansea in the English league, and I've got no problem with them being in the English league. But it's just a bit bizarre considering all the other Welsh football clubs can't be in the English league.
Yeah, they've got Newport as well. I think it's because money. There's more money in it. Yeah, and they've been in it for so long now. It's just normal.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Well, thank you very much for joining me on the channel. I wish you the best of luck with the season going forward, and obviously you getting your YouTube channel up and running. So yeah, thank you very much, Jamie, and hopefully we may do a video again at some point in the future if you like doing it.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me to this YouTube video. I've enjoyed it. To be fair, I hope we do something in the future. If I launch my channel, maybe we could do some content together. But thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem, mate. It's very much happy to get a perspective of a Coventry fan, and you've educated me, so that's good. So, okay, mate. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I will speak to you again at some point on Instagram and social media.
Okay, thank you.
Take care, mate.
See ya.